What is going on, everybody? Smooth here, and welcome back to a new video. And for today's video, we have Shyvana, the Queen of Dragons herself, in the jungle. And let me just say, man, it was definitely a lot of fun to just hop on Shyvana and play a game with her after a very long time. We haven't played her maybe in months, really, you know, a month or 2 months, really, so even since the season began, maybe like later on. We really didn't play her much, as right here we just hopped in the game and was like, you know what, I want to go try Shyvana, maybe switch up the builds a little bit. And for this particular build, I think this is actually a really good build to go on with Shyvana, as right here a team fight does happen, but I see Rengar, so I'm like, okay, maybe if we manage to secure the kill right here on Rengar. So I was actually aiming for Rengar right there, because I was saying is if we manage to pick him off, we can definitely go for the dragon right away. And as you can see, I'm in my dragon form, and with Shyvana's passive, which you get an extra 20% damage on the dragon, and then if you're running a mastermind as well, which gives you another 10% damage on epic monsters, which include dragons. I mean, you can take that dragon easily, just easily, you know, the extra damage you can get. Plus, it's also a bonus when you're in dragon form with Shyvana. You get enhanced powers, but again, only in dragon form. You know, not all the time. Which I think like that would definitely be a bit overpowered. But Shyvana you rarely see now in the jungle. You know, nobody really plays her, and rightfully so. She's actually fallen off a lot, you could say. You know, a lot of people have gotten buffs. Rengar, Lee Sin, Evelyn, Camille are really now taking over the jungle. You know, you see a lot of tanky characters in the jungle now. You know, Pantheon, Gragas, Jarvan. So really a character like Shyvana, she really just fell off people's radars, as right here we managed to get another kill on Gragas. But in this game in particular, we actually had a really good team that kind of did really well in the early game, which allowed us really to just stay in the jungle and farm up. And that's kind of what Shyvana has to do. You know, she's kind of really useful when she has an ultimate. You could say like very, you know, early on, maybe level 2, level 3, she does become a bit strong, like especially in the level 3 power spike. But you know, her level 3 power spike is nothing compared to like a Rengar, Lee Sin, or any other. So once you get level 5 with Shyvana, that's kind of when her power spikes really become, her power spike really gets good. And this build in particular, you know, it was a really tanky build. Black Cleaver, Sterox Gauge, Sunfire, and Spirit Visage. It is actually a really good and viable build to get with Shyvana, because you add a lot of tankiness, and you also have some good ability haste with the Black Cleaver. As right here, the Infernal Drake is up. But right here, I saw them. They were really all lined up perfectly. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to pop my ultimate, go into the team fight, and secure the team fight. So right here, I'm just in there. You know, I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can. But Rengar gets a sneaky little kill right there on our Braum. And right here, he just goes for the dragon. So this was a good play by Rengar. You know, I guess in a certain way, maybe I could have focused on the Infernal Drake and then kind of went out. But at the time, in the moment, I was like, you know, they were all lined up perfectly. It was a great moment to ultimate. And ultimately, you know, it worked out in our favor. We got some kills. They did end up getting the dragon. And it would have been nice for Shyvana especially to get the Infernal Drake. But you know, playing for a while now, you just, sometimes it's always good to ensure team fights than objectives. You know, there are games where you just have to make a decision, and in that moment I just made a decision. You know, I was going to focus on the team fight rather than the Infernal Dragon. But Rengar did a great job. You know, he snuck by us. He picked up a kill on Braum, and then he snuck his way into the Infernal Drake And also with Rengar, I mean, he can get objectives incredibly fast, just as fast, I would say, as Shyvana. So good job by the Rengar right there. As right here, another team fight breaks out. And I do have my ultimate, but right here, I don't think I wanted to use it. And right here, I just kind of got extremely impatient. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to ultimate in. I want to secure this kill right here. So we do end up flashing away just for safety. But I think I got a little too greedy right there. I could have used my ultimate a bit earlier. I really didn't want to. But then ultimately, I was like, you know what, it's just her in the jungle. Screw it, I'm using my ultimate. So again on the build, you know, Black Cleaver, Sterox Gauge, Sunfire, and Gargoyle. I think this is a really good build now to go on with Shyvana. You know, I think she does decent damage with her abilities, and if you do manage to secure some dragons, you get enhanced damage as well on her abilities. As right here, we ultimate in and we managed to pick up 2 kills. We get a double kill right here, and I have my ultimate up again. The Ocean Drake is up, so I'm just going to do it right away. You know, try to get as many dragons as you can, especially with Shyvana. It really helps you out. And we managed to pick it up nice and easy. So 2 dragons now. We managed to pick up Rengar and then move on to the dragon. So, and like I think I mentioned, you know, early on in the game, our team is doing really well. You know, Garen picked up 2 easy kills on the enemy Gragas in the Baron lane, and then our duo lane managed to pick up 2 kills as well. So we really didn't have to do much. You know, our lanes were winning, so we were able just to stay in the jungle, farm up as much as we can. And then you saw right there, early game, we got level 6. We rotated up. We picked off Rengar, then we went for the dragon. And as you can see, you know, it turned out to be quite a one-sided game. So kudos to my team right there for doing an excellent job in the early game. But that's kind of what Shyvana is now. I guess, you know, she's a very late game champion, but she does have her power spikes, you know, but that kind of comes at the level 5. And right here, we're kind of already up in the duo lane. As you can see, Fizz did rotate over, but we were already in the duo lane, and our team is kind of winning. They can win team fights without me a little bit. As you can see, Garen picks up another kill on Gragas. So they were doing pretty well without me. So I was kind of like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to commit to this. I'm already up here. So I'm just going to try to see if I can push a minion waves. But looking back at it, I kind of think that I should have just stayed in the top lane. As you can see, I probably could have pushed and got the tier 3 tower, but I rotate down to mid right here. We do end up getting it, but ultimately I think just staying in the top side right there where Rengar comes, right? Like looking back at it and kind of watching it over, I'm like, man, I probably should have just stayed up there. You know, bad decision on my part. It's right here, Rengar, you know, he's just lurking around. Fizz goes in. Does Rengar pick him up? So he pops his stasis right here, and then Rengar runs away, pops his ultimate. We do have an ultimate, but we didn't want to use it on him, just one character. As right here, Braum gets an amazing ultimate off, and we initiate a little bit too slow. You know, we should have just went in immediately, but I was kind of passive. I was like, okay, man, I don't want to use my ultimate. I'm not sure if I want to, but looking back, I should have just, you know, immediately ultimate. So mistakes again on our part as the jungle. But it was also because like our team was winning, so I was like, okay, you know, if I can save my ultimate for a better team fight, for a better opportunity, then I will. But with Shyvana's ultimate, I think you should never be selfish with it. Like if it's a team fight going out and you see a moment to use it, just go ahead and use it, because her ultimate doesn't have a cooldown. So all you got to do is just stack up, hit minions, try to fight, and it's about, you know, 30, you could say 30-40 seconds max maybe, or even, you know, to a minute. But the more minions you hit, the more jungle monsters, you know, monster camps you hit. As right here again, you see I get my ultimate and I just use it immediately. We're on the killing spree. And I think like I said, the build, you know, the Sunfire kick to the Sunfire Aegis into the Spirit Visage and then into the Gargoyles really gives us this amazing sustain that we're just allowed to stay in the team fights and dominate with our ultimate on. And this was actually our first game in a very, very long time, you know, with Shyvana. So it was a lot of fun. I'll definitely be playing her a bit, you know, every now and then switch on to her, but she is a different difficult character to play with, especially in the early game. You know, luckily this game our team was doing amazing. As you can see, everybody had a great game. So overall it turned out to be a fun game with Shyvana, and I hope you guys enjoy.